Welcome back to BKP Politics on FYNTV.com. I am DA King sitting in for BKP, and I know it's not the professional style show that you are accustomed to from Brian, but we're doing the best we can here from my home in Marietta. Before the break, Emily played a couple of videos for me, trying to educate people on the promises that Governor Brian Kemp made on illegal immigration. I'm going to ask Emily to play the last one. It's very short, but Emily, if you would play the last one, the second one in that line, if you would play that just one more time before we play the third one, that would be terrific.
I got a big truck, just in case I need to round up criminal illegals and take them home myself. Yep, I just said that. I'm Brian Kemp. If you want a politically incorrect conservative, that's me.
One more time. We have a reward for anybody who can point us to any remark, statement, action, or legislation that has happened since Governor Kemp has been Governor Kemp. This is still on Governor Kemp. There's one more video that I have in this line, and we played it last week, but I want to make sure that nobody misses it. This is when Governor Kemp was Secretary of State Kemp, and this was all created in 2016. What we have is one remaining video from a series of 5 that the Secretary of State's office, when Brian Kemp was the Secretary of State, created for the 2016 election in a policy that was advertised and promoted as then Secretary of State Brian Kemp, trying to make it easier for people to vote who did not speak English. And with that, before we play the video, I need to make sure that everybody realizes that only Americans are supposed to vote in Georgia. And that to become an American, if you were born in another country, you must be naturalized. And the naturalization process involves a basic English test. Unless you're about the age of 50 and have lived here for a long time, you have to prove to the federal government that you can speak English, at least in a basic manner, read, write, and understand English, to become a citizen. So I'm going to play the video, and I want to make it clear that this was once a series of 4 videos in multiple language. I think Arabic, Spanish, Korean, and Hindi. I don't remember all the languages. I have a blog up on the Dustin Image Society site. But watch this video. Pay attention to the little boy. This applies to what happened last November in such a huge way. I need for people to be educated on this. It's on my website. You can contact me. You can share this video anytime you want, and you can run the recorded version of BKP Politics show that we're doing now. Emily, please play that last video for us.
अनुपस्थिति मतदान आपके लिए मतदाताओं की अगली पीढ़ी द्वारा प्रस्तुत। यदि आपको मेल द्वारा मतदान करना पसंद है या चुनाव के दिन व्यक्तिगत रूप से या अग्रिम मतदान के दिन उपलब्ध नहीं है, आप अनुपस्थिति मतपत्र द्वारा मतदान कर सकते हैं। यदि आप एक अनुपस्थिति मतपत्र के लिए अनुरोध करना चाहें, तो आपको अनुपस्थिति मतपत्र मेल करने के लिए आप एक आवेदन कर सकते हैं। कृपया ध्यान रखें कि अनुपस्थिति मतपत्र आवेदन की समय सीमाएं होती हैं, जो प्रत्येक इलेक्शन में लागू होती हैं। आपकी सुविधा के लिए माई वोटर पेज वेबसाइट पर एक अनुपस्थिति मतपत्र अनुरोध प्रपत्र उपलब्ध है। यदि आपके काउंटी इलेक्शन ऑफिस को समय सीमा के अंदर आपका अनुपस्थिति मतपत्र आवेदन प्राप्त होता है, आपकी काउंटी एक अनुपस्थिति मतपत्र मेल करेगी। आपको मेल से अपना मतपत्र प्राप्त होने पर कृपया इसमें शामिल दिशा निर्देशों का पालन करें कि आपके मतदान किए गए मतपत्र को वापस आपके काउंटी इलेक्शन ऑफिस में कैसे मेल करें। आपके मतदान के लिए अनुपस्थिति मतपत्र को मेल करने में इस्तेमाल होने वाले लिफाफे को भरना और हस्ताक्षर करना आवश्यक है। दोबारा कृपया ध्यान रहे कि आपके मतदान किए गए अनुपस्थिति मतपत्र की काउंटी इलेक्शन ऑफिस में वापस पहुंचने की भी एक समय सीमा है। कृपया ध्यान दें कि चुनाव से संबंधित सभी फॉर्म और सामग्रियां मतपत्रों सहित केवल इंग्लिश में उपलब्ध हैं। यदि आपका कोई प्रश्न है तो अधिक जानकारी के लिए कृपया हमारी वेबसाइट sos.ga.gov/elections पर विजिट करें या हमें 404-656-2871 पर कॉल करें। ये जॉर्जिया सेक्रेटरी ऑफ स्टेट ब्रायन पी केम्प द्वारा एक जनसेवा है।
Thank you very much, Emily. That one never gets old to me, and I hope that people will share that. And I'm grateful for the time. For people who watched last week, Brian Kemp, BKP, Brian Pritchard, was kind enough to have me on his show for 2 hours. We played those videos last week. It's not the last time I'm going to play them, given the opportunity. But I think they are self-explanatory. With that said, I have one more in that idea. Emily, would you play DA number 97 for me? Because Governor Kemp has cracked down. If we don't have 97, it'll be my fault. I can do it from here, Emily, if you don't have the link. And again, folks, there it is. Can you move it over to the other side, please, ma'am? Outstanding. Ladies and gentlemen, before I go any further, please know that Emily is, in fact, indispensable, and I am forever grateful for her patience. So the point here is that Governor Kemp has cracked down on something. It's not illegal immigration, but he's had a whole news conference, and I think legislation is coming to address the dangers of street racing. And I don't dispute that anything against the law needs to be solved, but I am personally a little bit beyond irritated that we are watching while illegal immigration, which affects American workers, our budget, everything that concerns illegal immigration is being ignored. And with the promises we just saw from the governor, what we're watching is a crackdown on street racing. So I just wanted to kind of make that point. I saw it in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, which I have to read every day because of what I do. So there you go. That's for that. So now, along the lines, you can take that down, Emily. Thank you. Along the lines of, of voting in Georgia, Emily, will you put up DA number 3, please, ma'am? There is a bill pending under the Gold Dome, folks, which is being held back. It's House Bill 228. And what House Bill 228 would do, and it's very, very simple. Here it goes. House Bill 228 addresses the fact that here in Georgia, the Department of Driver Services issues driver's licenses to people who are not United States citizens. And there's nothing wrong with that. The driver's license issued to United States citizens is different only than my own driver's license and probably the one in your pocket. The driver's license issued to U.S. citizens with a term printed across the top. Can you lower that just a little bit for me, please, Emily? There you go. Thank you. Across the top of the non-citizen, foreign nationals, whatever term you use, is the language that says limited term. Limited term simply means this driver's license will expire when the non-citizen's visa to be in the United States expires. One more time, the only difference between a non-citizen driver's license and a citizen driver's license is that limited term. On the bottom is a proposed change to that problem. On the bottom is language that is proposed in House Bill 228 to be added to the non-citizen driver's license. It says bearer not a U.S. citizen, not voter ID. Excuse me. This is important, folks, because there is no law in the state of Georgia that a limited term non-citizen driver's license cannot be presented as proper identification when you go to vote. I'm going to let that kind of sink in for a minute, and I'm going to say it again. There is no state law saying you can't use that top license as ID, considered, and I quote, proper identification when you go to the voting polls. It is a lot of people's opinion, including mine, that if we add the language on the top of that driver's license, that it won't confuse any poll workers who are mostly very, very hardworking volunteers. So the House Bill 228 says two things. It says we're going to change the state law to make it unacceptable to present limited term driver's license at the poll. And we are going to label that driver's license and ID card and permits in a more clear manner so that no poll worker would ever get confused. Now, House Bill 228 has a long list of sponsors, including the Republican House whip, which is a big deal. I think it's number 3 in the House. The bill, folks, is going nowhere. The bill is stuck in the Georgia House Higher Education Committee. And it's in a subcommittee that is chaired by a state representative, Republican Bonnie Rich, R-I-C-H, from Gwinnett County. The bill's probably not coming out, but we have a chance if people want to contact the Georgia Gold Dome and contact House leadership to say, we want to see House Bill 228 get a vote on the floor of the House. I promise you, if this bill goes to the floor, it's going to pass. And I know it's difficult to make phone calls and keep track of all this. So calling all these representatives you never heard of can be a task. It's much easier to make just one phone call. And I recommend that phone call go to Republican Speaker David Ralston's office with a polite message that we want to see House Bill 228 get a vote on the floor. I have Speaker David Ralston phone number post here. I don't know if I can find it. I can tell you while I'm looking, the phone number at Speaker Ralston's office is 404-656-5020. I'm embarrassed that I don't have this more ready to go. We have a graphic to put up with Speaker Ralston's phone number and contact information. No, we don't. I think Brian put it up by himself though last week. You can take that driver's license down now, Emily. Thank you. But folks, I want you to understand that just because we have sent Republicans to the Gold Dome, who each and every one of them assured us during their campaigns that they are conservatives, it doesn't mean they're going to go down there and vote in a conservative manner, because once they get inside that Capitol and you're at home, they get a lot of influence from the special interest lobby, including the Georgia Chamber of Commerce and the Metro Atlanta Chamber of Commerce. It is mostly those two groups who do not want this bill to pass to change the driver's license laws and the driver's license letters across the top. And that is because they want more foreign workers in Georgia, not fewer. So that's something that I hope we can take a little action on. House Bill 228 is a yes, must pass. Please call Speaker David Ralston's office. That is 404-656-5020. Very nice young people work there. They'll only take messages for the speaker. Be polite, be short, give them your message, and get off the phone. Maybe after that, follow up with an email. Emily, I'm going to put up my Dustin Inman Society website graphic. Now, we're going to go for a break, folks. It's 10:40, and I'm supposed to do a break now, and I'm just learning. I hope you're having as much fun as I am. I'll do better next time. We're going to go to a break. Thank you, Emily.